And welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben, and this is my review for the Time Traveler's Wife HBO series. Let me know if you've watched the movie that came out quite a few years ago or read the book. Were you excited to see this? But for now, let's jump in. The Time Traveler's Wife tells the intricate love story of Claire and Henry and a marriage with a problem. Time travel. So our two main protagonists are acted by Rosie Leslie, who plays Claire, and Theo James, who plays Henry. And I actually quite like the movie. I'm a big fan of the film. I think it does a good job to showcase the issues that would have, and I was unsure that we needed a series. I thought it was weird. We have Stephen Moffat as the writer, who a lot will know from the Doctor Who series and many others. An incredible creative. And so I was intrigued because I really like Rose Leslie. I think she was fantastic in Game of Thrones, and Theo James, I think he's got great presence. So these two, and HBO, and Stephen Moffat were like, okay, let's check this out. And I have to say, I was riveted from the beginning to the end. The only thing that I find that's a negativity towards this is I thought this was going to be a limited series, just 6 episodes, one done, no need to draw it out any longer. Unfortunately, it does look like there is another series coming. It hasn't been greenlit yet, but definitely didn't have the story complete. There was a lot of things. There is a story, they reach a point up into the story, but there's a lot left that's not being explained, which was somewhat frustrating. So if we don't ever get a second season, it won't be like disastrous, but there will be a lot of questions, which is disappointing. Never mind that though, because the story itself, the way it goes straight into time travel, gives us a lot more about kind of the lore behind the Henry character, what he experiences as the time traveler. So though it's a story about the time traveler's wife, and we get to see it from her perspective a lot as well, there is a lot of like how he experiences, what happens to him. He arrives at different locations naked. He needs to learn to fight, to steal, to escape, to run. And so all of that, it plays for a very interesting story. So as we start seeing their love, fate says you are going to be married. How do you fight against that? And so it's interesting seeing the relationship dynamics as we follow the time traveler through the different periods and what draws him to different time periods as well. Why does he keep going to certain periods and he has no control of it? So rather than it being a superpower, it is something that's wrong with you. You have no control of it. Imagine it being in the car and driving and suddenly you disappear. There are certain things he can't do as a time traveler. So they explore that, which I think is a very interesting way to go. It is acted phenomenally. You totally believe that these two are in love, especially with the different incarnations of the age variants, and then you totally believe like they're going through what they're going through. One of the things I really liked about this series is that they don't keep it a secret just between them. There are some other people that know about Henry's abilities, which makes it interesting to see how people react to that. I thought that was a lot of fun. That always used to annoy me about series like Smallville and Flash, those sort of the superpowered beings where they just wouldn't tell anybody. It would make a lot more sense to tell a couple to help, and sometimes it'll be seasons and seasons before that character that you wanted to know something. Here, they get to know. The people that need to know. And so it does change the dynamic of what the couples or what the characters are going through, what the best friends are going through. How do you have a best friend that is a time traveler? That sort of thing, I think, plays more than they did in the film. So in the film, they only really were able to look at the drama that would create. Here it really goes around that, about Henry's parents, things like that, the history behind it. Even though the episodes are like an hour long or just under, you find that you're just clicking over to the next one because you kind of want to know what's going to happen next. So when you get to the end, I can understand if you were frustrated like me. I believe HBO are dropping episode by episode, but we've been given the green light to review the whole lot. I'm not going to do any episode spoilers in individual. I think I've kept it pretty superficial around the edges without giving like, this is what happens in that episode, let's talk about that, because I want you guys to go into it fresh. Even if you've watched the movie, I think you'll enjoy this because there's a lot of things here that they go into that they didn't go into in the film. It feels like a totally separate thing, which I think is nice, and the acting is phenomenal. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you've seen the series, how much, or read the book, what do you prefer? Like the series, movie, film, book, which is your favorite? Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 Nicolas Cages. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.